Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Sharice and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy. I guess we got to go, and hopefully it'll do. So anyway, all right. Where are you in Georgia? Because it's so pretty. Isn't that pretty?
No, I'm in Georgia over off Shamley Dunwoody at this Courtyard Marriott with a view of downtown, Buckhead, Midtown. Like, this is a really dope location that we need to take advantage of.
Okay.
Let's see if I can show you all a little better. No, I got the blurred background, so you won't be able to see it real good.
Right. But you look fabulous. You look like you living your best life.
Thank you. I look like I'm not in Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
It's the sun glaring on me, you know. And did you see that full moon last night?
I did not, because I have been in my house working some more. And so I did not. But
we are.
Was it a beautiful moon?
Yes, we're in a beautiful full moon energy, so make sure you take advantage of it. Come out the house and look at it tonight.
Okay, we'll do. Mm-hmm. All right. How long should it be full moon? How does each moon phase last?
Few days. I have to look at it exactly and see, but the energy lasts. You'll get the full moon energy for several days for sure. So okay. I'll look it up.
These are times when I wish I would have paid better attention in science in school.
Well, they didn't teach us those. They didn't teach us the spirituality of it. You know, they taught us the science, but, you know, they didn't teach us the energy and how to harness it and that that's of God and it's not of some woo-woo stuff, you know.
You are correct. They didn't teach us none of that.
That was too powerful. It was too powerful. We weren't supposed to know that stuff.
All right, but we know now. Okay, yes, I still can't get this thing to stream live. It says preparing. I did start it all over again, and it's just, I don't know. It's a clink in the system. So we are just going to have to record this, and the people are going to have to get it later.
Okay.
So, all right. So we're doing the Menopause Shift Plus. So thriving in your next chapter, and so even with that topic, I want to say, because it seems to me that a lot of us didn't give thought to the next chapter. It feels like a lot of people are just like, oh, shoot, I need a new plan. What are we doing now? And feeling like they're having to start from scratch. And so are you seeing the same thing? And let's speak to that first. Like, you're taking it back that, oh, my God, I got to come up with a new plan. And I wasn't going to be able to do what I've been doing for the last 20 years for the next 20 years. It's just like, no. You're going to have to make a shift and a change in there. So,
I give you a really great example, and this is kind of minute compared to what we're going to go into, but a conversation with a client / girlfriend the other day, like, I need a bunch of formals for, you know, events I have coming up, but oh my gosh, I can't wear heels. In the 40s and can't wear heels. I was like, oh, no biggie. Our age group isn't wearing heels like that anymore.
Right.
So you can adjust. So you just have to shop accordingly. Funny thing is, remember when we used to say, why they dressing like an old lady? Why she ain't got no heels on with her? So thank God for the new era that we're in. And, you know, we are in an era where you can mix the trends, you know, you can mix the formal with the casual shoes, because it just is what it is. A lot of people cannot wear heels anymore, and you should not be wearing heels and for your health reasons. And we're getting wiser, and we're doing what we are supposed to do, thinking about the future, you know?
Right. Yeah. I haven't been to a sneaker ball yet, but whoever came up with that, like, kudos to you.
Bomb. Look, all the balls should be sneaker balls. after 45, after 40, 45.
Right.
You got permission to wear your sneakers.
All right. So what's the first person? So let's say somebody who's just struggling with the transition. What's the first thing you would tell them that just about mindset and about the transition? Because I know some people, I hate it when I'm talking to women and just like, I used to be this and I used to be that and I used to be, and it's just like, okay, but you're 45. Please don't compare yourself to the 25-year-old version of you. You feel
Yeah,
like you're
yeah,
holding yourself in hostage and bondage. Like that
yes.
can't be good. And so what would you tell that woman?
Well, I deal with it a lot. I see it absolutely
Mm-hmm.
every single day. Women who just aren't willing to embrace, the aging and the seasoning, and I
Mm-hmm.
say, please look at it like seasoning and not aging and, just aging beautifully because that's what
Mm-hmm.
you're going to do. You're going to age regardless. So why
Mm-hmm.
not embrace it? And I will say, start with, I'm just not who I was. It just is it is what it is. I'm not who I was. And why would I
Mm-hmm.
want to be?
Ooh,
Why would I want to be who I was when I was in my 20s, in my teens, my
that
20s, and my
part.
30s,
That
right?
part. Right.
And embracing these new bodies, embracing these new mindsets and ways of life. Like life is going to change regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Everything around you is changing and it's going to. Your kids are going to age, jobs are going to change, body shapes are going to change, hair is going to change, so why not embrace it, get ahead of it, use your tools, your resources, your community, and just own that thing. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not as easy for others, as it is for some, but
Mm-hmm.
everyone has their weak spots.
Yeah.
Everyone has their flaws, right? And it's like, just think about, you're not alone. You are not alone. Yours just doesn't look like the next person. And of
Yeah.
course it's not. We're
Yeah.
not the same.
Mm-hmm. I think that so much. Think so much. But I think that's the biggest thing is realizing you're not alone. Because for whatever reason, we get in our head and we're like, we're the only one. Like, I'm the only one that's getting old.
Yeah.
No, everybody with you is getting old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the only one that's have to deal with this. No, everybody in your age group is having to deal with it. And
Yeah.
so I think that's really huge. Like, you're not alone. Don't think that you're alone.
Yeah.
And I want to say also, I would like for you to change who you are looking to and looking up to,
Mm-hmm.
and basing let me how I say this. Like, I don't want you comparing yourself to your 25-year-old self. I want you to look at some fabulous women who were in your age group and comparing yourself to them. Actually, I
Mm-hmm.
really don't want you comparing yourself. Actually, comparison is the thief of
Yeah.
joy.
Yeah.
But I just want you thinking age appropriately how to model yourself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
so don't be like, oh, she looks great and she's 25 when you're 45. I need you to find another
Right.
45-year-old and be like, okay, she looks great. And this
Yeah.
is how she's doing it differently for the age that she is.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and just be very aware of that. I don't want y'all comparing, but I know y'all do compare. But when y'all compare,
Natural.
it's like y'all don't compare apple to apples or oranges
Yeah.
to oranges,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the craziest things were like, she has all of this and I have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you ain't did what she did and she ain't did what you did. Like, it's two completely different stories if you look at the stories in the background.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I've listened to the radio show. This radio show, it was funny one time. And one of the girl on there was comparing herself to like Kylie Jenner. Like, she's a millionaire and I'm not. And they was like, okay, come on, for real now. She actually started from money. Like, she started from money and made more money. Like, come on now. And
It's
so and that was an extreme comparison, but I think we do compare ourselves to the wrong people all the time.
yeah.
And again, you got to get away from comparison. You got to get
Yeah.
away from comparison, especially I think in midlife, because
Mm-hmm.
so many things can happen
Yeah.
in life, and you're
Yeah.
dealing with things that you had no clue that you were going to be dealing with, and medical issues that you like. Nobody thought that they would get medical issues, right? It's not something you plan for. Like, oh, in around about 45, I'm gonna have trouble with my foot. Like, you don't
Mm-hmm.
plan for that, and
Mm-hmm.
so being okay with the aging process, and also knowing that it makes sense that you can't be doing the same thing you was doing 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
operate differently. And in
Yeah.
business, it's a operate. I really want you guys to adopt, and I'm having trouble adapting it myself. So I'm gonna say we need to adopt really working smarter, not harder, and
Oh,
working harder is a default, especially if you've been doing it for the last 30 years of like, oh, I ain't got no money, let me go work harder. Oh, I ain't got this, let me go, and like, let me go, let me do. And so I really, 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 really want to get into the where that's not my first thought. Let me go do it. Like, I wanted to be something else. I don't know what I wanted to do, but I don't want to be working. I know that I personally can't keep working harder.
Right.
Like, I've got to work smarter. And I think also with working smarter, making sure I'm not nickel and diming myself. Like, I don't want to be anymore. Okay, how can I make it like $1,000 extra a month? Okay, if I do this, do this, do that. Okay, it really needs to be, how can I make, like, I really want my mind thinking differently. Like, how can I make $200,000? Like, what would I need to do and sell or be? Like, what has to happen for me to be able to command that?
Yeah.
And that feels completely different than, okay, let me go do it. Let me just get, because it's really that just over broke mentality.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I'm working on it. And I know I'm not the only one working on it. And we all got to work on it to get to a level of abundance. And so I think I need to relook at my affirmations and make sure, and I fell off my affirmations. So relook at them and then make sure it's more than that just over broke mentality.
Yeah.
Okay. And so let me bring this back around to health. So, now it sounds like I'm in money, which I am in money, but money can be tied to health in so many different because you're stressing because you don't have the money and all of these things, and then you working yourself to the bone because when you was 20, it was easy for you to work 3 jobs, but it ain't easy for you to work 3 jobs anymore. And so now you got to do something different. And so give yourself permission to do something different. Like, I need you to I was in this group one time. I don't know who this lady is. And I'm sorry, lady, if I took your words, but they were so fabulous. And she was just like, I think her company was going to be grind different. Just grind different. And it's like, oh, okay. That something about that just, made my soul feel good. That like, you have to do it differently and be okay doing it differently with whatever your health and your physical needs are, and really giving yourself the time. So, and what does that look like? And almost demanding it for yourself, demanding, being one of those people. And we talked about this at the beginning of the year, because when we plan, I really want y'all planning, you're like, your vacations first. Like, it's the big rocks. When will you rest? When will you rest? I did a post a couple of weeks ago that rest is a responsibility. Actually, my social media girl put it up. Thank you, Q. So, but rest is a responsibility, and making sure you take that responsibility seriously after the age of 40, I think is paramount. My rest is that I won't be productive without rest. I think some of us sometimes notice it, like when you're walking around in circles at midnight, like, okay, let me just go to bed. But I want you guys to notice it even sooner. Like, I don't even want you getting to the point where you're walking around in circles at midnight, because I want you to realize, oh, it's 10 o'clock. My rest is most important. I'm not going to be effective. Let me go and go to bed at whatever your designated time is. All right. I digress.
Cool. I agree wholeheartedly. Something that's coming up for me in my transition and this shift with, just aging and, the menopausing. I'm more witnessing the menopause, in other people. And I know I have things coming up, but I'm not experiencing some of the things that others are around me. And I'm grateful from what I see. But for me in my transition, Natalie, I have come to realize that order, organization, and execution across the board is the answer to your health, your money, and your sanity. And especially as we make these transitions in our health, because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So you're going to have to bring some order and some discipline, right? And some organization. And what I mean, so let's bring all that together. So if you don't create a system on how to get your butt to bed at night and get some,
Ooh,
like you said, rest is responsibility,
right,
right? So if you
right,
don't find a way to get your butt in bed on time and
right.
create a restful night so that you will get up the next day on time, feeling good and
Ooh, the
eat
feeling good part.
and put the right things in your body and love yourself enough to show up and exercise and move your body and do
Right,
all the things that are necessary for
right.
you to live and work and create. I mean, what?
Mm-hmm.
What? So for me at 53, like something hit a little bit this birthday, it was just kind of, regular, but I'm super, super grateful. But something hit me different, like, girl, you're 53. I felt like I just turned 40. And then I felt like I just turned 50. And I'm like, you 53.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make all these days, all these minutes, all these moments count. They got to count. And I always remind my siblings and, the people around me, even on Mother's Day, I'm like, wow, I always find a reason to celebrate my mother. But wow, my mother at 50 years old, she was not here. And I'm 3 years
Wow.
past 50, right? But
Yeah.
at 50, like she turned 50 and then she was here for 3 more months. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like that right there is resonating with me so differently now. It is like pushing me into order and
Mm-hmm.
organization and discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all I desire now. And I'm realizing that that's how things begin to fall in place. I had an older lady tell me one day, she said, you young people, you stress yourself out trying to get it all together. She said, it all really kind of comes together by the time you get 50 plus because you stop caring about anything but your health and
Oh,
how you're going to live the next day and how you're going to stay here and how, just being happy. I
yeah.
was Ooh, that was good. That was
Yeah.
real rich, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You're no
Uh-huh.
longer comparing. So it's like the people who are still comparing, go do some work because you're ahead of the game if you're one of those who are in that space of just not caring. Like, like you cannot be comparing yourself to people and caring what people think. Like, we don't know what moment we won't be here again or who else won't be here again. So, like, y'all, we got to make the best of these moments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. We really do. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I love it. I love it. I love that she called you young too. I love it. Just because I think
Yeah.
after no, I was talking to a 40-year-old yesterday and she was like, I'm
Yeah.
so old. And I was like, girl, you got 60 years left.
Girl,
Like
I'm
you
telling you.
hurting yourself by saying I'm old because the
Yep.
way you're saying it as if
Mm-hmm.
I'm done,
Yep.
not
Yep. Mm-hmm.
good. I'm at a good place. I got enough knowledge to actually do something I need to do what I need
Yeah.
to do for the next 60 years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so really kind of working on that and understanding, just don't fall into that I'm old trap.
Yeah.
And I need to find better words to articulate it. But there's something going on where people get across 40 and they're like, oh, I'm so old.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the mentality behind that is, and so now I don't have time to do what I need to do, or now I don't, but you still have an incredible amount of time. And it
Yeah.
usually doesn't take time to do. And what I would love for you to know is because you aren't 20 anymore and you do have about 20 years worth of living and wisdom, now you can do what you need to do even faster,
Mm-hmm.
even smoother, like better, because you have a little life experience.
Yep.
And it really is just a little life experience when
Yeah.
you think of now you got
Yeah.
to go from 40 to 60, 60 to 80, and hopefully 80 to 100.
Yeah.
And so, which I think seems unrealistic until you get around some people who are in their 80s and they thriving. And you're like, oh,
Ready
shoot,
for me?
living your best life. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think everything that you're saying is it. Like, embracing
Mm-hmm.
uh just embracing where you are, who you are, embodying that we are going to age and aging with grace. And
Mm-hmm.
Like it's fun. Like I'm having
Mhm.
fun. And I hate to see people who aren't having fun aging.
Yeah.
And so let's talk seriously about there are some serious illnesses. There are some serious conditions that people are facing. And it's like, how do you pivot when you face some of those issues? You know, uh, they say everything with the right attitude, can point you in the right direction. But, there are
Mhm.
some major situations. I've seen some really resilient people go through
Mhm.
some major issues in life and look at it the right way and just
Sail
maneuver.
through, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so okay, I don't want to go too deep on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First, I want you to know mindset and mentality is something you can set and you can work towards setting.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just accept your thoughts. Don't just, oh, I start spiraling and I just kept spiraling and I just was
Mm-hmm.
like sad all day.
Yeah.
Don't let yourself do that. You can control your thoughts. If you can't
Mm-hmm.
control them, at the very least, you can distract yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
YouTube is free. Now, they might commercial you to death, but YouTube is free.
Yeah.
And that is such a powerful resource to help
Mm-hmm.
you reset the thoughts in your brain. And
Yeah.
so if you are thinking, has me down, this thing has me down and out, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I bet you can find 100 stories of people who have made it through hard circumstances, probably your same exact circumstances, and they're
Mm-hmm.
living and thriving.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so go find those things. Don't accept, okay, let me just say it. Your brain will come up with some straight out lies,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you got to fight those. Do
Mm-hmm.
not accept that as the truth. It could be the lie that, oh, I'm old and useless. Don't accept that. I don't care if you 85,
Mm-hmm.
95, there is still something you can do to be useful and then purposeful on this earth. And so
Mm-hmm.
you figure out how to do that. So don't accept that lie. I'm washed out. Don't accept that lie. Your brain will straight lie to you. And so
Mm-hmm.
if you are going through something hard, don't accept whatever your brain is telling you. You choose what you're going to tell your brain and what you're going to have your brain tell yourself. And I get it, y'all. And at the beginning, it's going to be a fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a fight. It's probably going to be a fight every day
Mm-hmm.
for a good
Yeah.
while until
Yeah.
you essentially, I would say, beat your brain into submission. But really, it's which is someone is just gonna it's gonna feel like a fight, because you're gonna think one way, I'm not worthy. No, no, we don't think that way. We think that we worthy. That's right. Say it again. I'm worthy. Okay, I'm worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got you. I'm worthy. But I don't feel worthy. Feelings ain't facts. It's okay. As long as you know that you're worthy. What do we need to do? Do I need to make you write it 100 times? What we got to do for you
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
feeling that you're worthy?
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
going to be like that, a back and forth. You're going to feel a little schizophrenic in there for a little while, but you
Mm-hmm.
tell your brain what to believe. You tell yourself what to believe. Stop just
Mm-hmm.
accepting whatever. And okay, let me say this. So your brain isn't really making up these lies. Somebody probably told you that in your past or your history. You maybe have told yourself that. But now, as an adult and you being a little bit older and wiser, I need you to arrest those thoughts, hold them captive, and do not let them wreak havoc in your life anymore. And so, whether it's an illness, whether it's an ailment, whether it's a business failure, and you got to reset that's impacting your health, mm-mm. like, capture those thoughts and
Yeah.
do what you got to do to think what you got to think to get to where you got to go.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
get it. It really might be okay, I just got to repeat these words over and over again. So I'm taking these words like I'm taking medicine
Yeah.
because this is
Yeah.
what I need to believe. And
Yeah.
it might be the one I need to work on right now is I make good, healthy food choices every meal. I make good, healthy food choices.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I do. That's what I do. That's how I operate. That's what I do because of the level I'm at now. I really need to take care of my body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so,
Yes.
which is funny. Not old lady, this older lady told me one time, she was like, 0 to 40, your body takes care of you. But after 40, you got to start taking care of your body. And I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was really good. And
That
so
is good.
now, and this is other little audio that I listened to for weight loss. And on the audio, she says, "My body is my oldest and dearest friend." And
Oh,
so I
that's
know,
good.
right?
That's good.
And so when you think of it like that, it's just like, okay, what do I need to do and give to my oldest and dearest friend so that she can
Mm.
perform in the way that I need her to perform, so that she can work when I need her to work, but also
Mhm.
got to make sure she's resting. And
Mhm.
so even though I be trying to keep her up late and get her up early, I told her I was gonna stop trying to. I was gonna stop doing that. Just pick one. Either we gonna stay up late and sleep late, or we gonna get up early and go to bed early. And so,
I wish.
right,
You gotta tap into that really quality sleep. Like that quality sleep is everything.
yeah, quality sleep is everything. Um, so yeah, okay, all right.
It's
I feel like I
good.
went off onto a tangent and got out into the deep, but I am
No, that's the good
about
stuff.
you
That's it.
guys. And so, if you are over, and I've even had a 37-year-old be like, "Oh, I'm so old." Okay, you gotta stop it. Y'all gotta stop it. Please don't say that anymore. Please don't say that anymore. I am so young. There are things left for me to do. I have the time to get it done. Like all of those things that you need to be saying to yourself, like figure it out. And if you can't figure it out, have ChatGPT come up with you a list of affirmations. So
Mm-hmm,
you tell
mm-hmm,
ChatGPT, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with this, I'm
mm-hmm.
struggling with that. Develop me a list of 100 affirmations that I can read to myself. And you may have to do that. You may have to read them to yourself. You read them
Yeah.
and then you put them on repeat. This one guy I was listening to, he was like, if you just make a recording of the affirmations and you just commit to every time you get in your car, that's all you listen to.
Yeah.
In a year, you'll be a different person.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So just
Agreed.
when you're in your car, you just commit to listening to that. You'll be a
Mm-hmm.
different person in a year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's doable.
Yeah. I one of the things that I did, and I got off last year. I got off of it, but I have like some affirmations and declarations.
Mm.
Because there is a difference. You have to declare things and summons
Mm-hmm.
over your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that means not in a wishful space. Like, okay, if we can tap into this for just a second. Um, Affirmations are absolutely amazing, and they are a part
Mm-hmm.
of the process.
Mm-hmm.
But the most important thing is that you feel, okay, you are connected
Yeah.
to the
Say that.
feelings
Yeah.
of having,
Yeah.
doing, and being what
Yeah.
it is that you want. And some people find that so far fetched, but it's the feeling, it's the connectedness to the
Mm-hmm.
feeling of what it is that you desire and
Mm-hmm.
being in that desire, not
Mm-hmm.
desiring it or wanting
Mm-hmm.
it. Like you got to be in it and
Mm-hmm.
live in it. And believe it or not, you do. There are some things that you wanted so bad that you literally walked yourself into it because you talked
Yeah.
about it so much. You just lived it. You visualized it so much. Because we did that when we were children. Do you remember? When
Mm-hmm.
we were children, you would want something so bad and you would say it and somebody would your parent would give it to you. Or one day you would just find yourself, oh, it happened. Oh my God.
Yeah.
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 We lived that.
Yeah.
But because of a lot of the failures or, the disappointments in life, we tend to attach ourselves to the disappointments,
Right.
right? So why not attach yourself to the feeling and the connectedness of having and being that thing that you really truly
Mm-hmm.
desire?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to stay, and I don't mean to offend people, but you don't have to stay elementary with affirmations. Start to
Ooh.
become the affirmations. Like there's
Ooh.
some 101. It's just like, being a babe in Christ,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you
Mm-hmm.
first get saved, you got to go to church, and you got to get to the pastor, and you got to get to the praise and worship, and you got to. But how long are you going to stay in that phase? Because at some
Right.
point, you have to become a leader, right? You have to
Mm.
become one who can go out and disciple, one who can go
Right.
out and bring others into the house, right? So you
Yes.
pick and choose who you want to be.
Yes.
You're going to
Yes.
stay a
Oh.
follower, you're going to be a leader. So it's like you
Oh.
got to learn how to graduate from one phase to the next. And I hear people talk about affirmations all the time, and they are amazing, but you got to start to embody the affirmations and
Oh.
live
Okay.
and be the affirmation.
All right. Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, okay. Um, okay. I want to break down what Sharice just said even further. Okay. So there's a story in the Bible of a man who is sick and like can't even walk. So four friends have to are trying to get him to Jesus. And so the four friends like pick him up on the pallet. They take him to the top. They cut a hole into the roof and lower the man down in front of Jesus. I love that story. And now actually, I haven't talked about this in a long time, but I ask people, who are you in the story? Are you the person that's on the pallet and your friends got to get you? Or are you one of the friends who you have enough wherewithal in your life that you can turn around, you get that time and energy, and you can help somebody else get their healing? Or are you the person that other people are bringing people to for you to help? And so there's three different levels. And so I want you guys to be thinking about, because today we're really talking about transitions, but transition in this middle part of life and what
Yeah.
that new thing needs to be. So I really, guys, want you thinking about, where are you? Are you still on the pallet and you need people to take you before the Lord? Are you one
Yeah.
of the people that can take somebody else to the Lord, but you got your own and you doing good and you stable and you fine? Or are you, and because some of y'all, it's time for you to transition, because your message now should be so sharp and clear out of all of the experience that you now have, that other people are saying, come hear Sharice with me, because I think you need to hear Sharice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you got to get there. So you got to
Yeah.
get there. And so somebody who's listening to the sound of my voice, that is your next transition. And you
Yeah.
have been wondering, and you've probably also been scared. Don't be scared. Just walk in it.
Yeah.
Whatever your message is, start
Mhm.
saying it.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you'll know you're there when somebody else said, oh, girl, I had to bring my friend to hear you.
Yeah.
That's when you
Yeah.
know you're there. So
Yeah.
that's it. Oh my
And
God.
it's never too late.
It's
It's never too
never too
late.
late.
Never,
Oh,
ever, ever, ever too late. It doesn't matter. Like
mm-hmm,
might not be called to the masses. You
mm-hmm,
might be called to
mm-hmm.
one person in this universe, and if you
Right,
fulfill your assignment to that one person because you moved in your
right.
purpose, are you
Yes.
kidding?
Speak
We
that.
talk about you
Listen.
fulfilled your assignment. If
Yes,
you did your
yes,
one thing, if you
yes,
showed up in that one particular place that you were supposed to show up in the universe.
yes.
So stop thinking so big and grandiose.
Mm,
Oh, I got to have it together and I got to do
mm,
this and I got to do that. Stop comparing. No, 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 no. Just do what you're supposed to do. Get in your purpose, get aligned with it, figure out what it
mhm,
is,
mhm.
and get in it. And your whole life is walking in
Yep.
purpose. Everywhere you go, you're going to touch somebody. Everywhere
Say
you
that.
show up, you're going to touch somebody because that's
Say
how we should
that.
be living.
Yes.
My being should be touching a
Yes.
person's life because I show up
Yes.
in a room and lighten and brighten your day.
Right. Right. Right.
Period.
Right. Right. Oh, okay. Let me go deeper on that story, because you just.
Mhm.
All right. You can be all three of the people in that story in different areas in your life. So
Yeah.
in one area, you may need somebody to put you on the pallet and take you. In
Mm-hmm.
another area in your life, you're
Mm-hmm.
good. You got some stability. And so you are
Mm-hmm.
now trying to help other people get to the where they need to be. And then in another area of your life, you can be the person who's speaking that message and speak the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta
Mm-hmm.
say, I love that about life, because
Yes.
nobody has completely arrived. We are
Mm-hmm.
all trying to figure it out. It's like we get this one area figured out. Now we got to go figure out this area. Now we got to go figure that area out. And so I just love that. So just understand, because and understand that's part of the process, which is why
Yeah.
we gotta stay in relationship with people and stay in communication with people, because you got to figure it out over there, and I got to figure it out over here, and
Mm-hmm.
together we can get it figured out one day at a
Yeah.
time, one step at a time. So I want to go back and circle back around when you were talking about affirmations. So I learned
Mm-hmm.
this type of affirmation from the Brooke Castillo,
Mm-hmm.
the life school coach or something
Yeah.
like that. The life
Yeah.
school. She's out of California. All right.
Mm-hmm.
She said, in your like affirmations, also like mix in the things that you're wanting with also the things that you have already. So it's easier for me to say thank you. Okay. So I got a beautiful couch set, which I had to stalk at the furniture store for about 2 years before I could get the money to afford it. So I would say, thank God for my beautiful couch set.
Yes.
That's something I actually do have. And so the feeling of that stays with me. So now I can say the next line, or I might affirm, let me just say something I really don't have, $1 million in the bank. So I'm going to put those two together. So I'm a sandwich, the kind of thing that I'm affirming to come to manifest in my life with things that have already manifested in my life. I'm affirming them together. And I thought that was excellent. I was like, all right, well, I got you, girl. You're doing something. And so, and she was like, whatever it is. And so, like, you might want to say, let's say you have 4 beautiful children. They just celebrated you on Mother's Day. So you're going to say, thank God for my 4 beautiful children. And thank God for my new Mercedes that's in the driveway. Like, you're going to put them together and sandwich them together. And I thought that was really, really good. And I think that's kind of a next level how to do affirmations thing with that. And learning on affirmations. And if you don't feel like your affirmations are performing for you or changing you or doing, then you need to figure that out. Like, just don't be like, oh, they don't work.
No, you gotta know. You gotta know.
Can we at this age be past the, oh, it ain't gonna work for me and give
the
up?
victim. The victim. You remember we had a whole podcast when I was talking about being childlike in your belief. You know, believing, you know, so that's twofold, you know, be childlike in your belief, but don't be immature in your belief, right? Be childlike because, you know, be open and be wild and free and don't have any apprehensions and don't have any things that hold you back, because as children, we didn't. But as an adult, don't be immature either about your beliefs and affirmations, which go back and don't believe in yourself enough. You know, so that immaturity will have you messed up. Immaturity in your belief, immaturity in how you move. Because let's be clear, with affirmations have to match actions. Right? And all of us, and I'll raise my hand, all of us are good in areas, right? You know, we have areas that we're great at, but then we have areas that we are weaker at. So you got to figure out how to get strong in the areas where you know you're weak. I know I had been weak when it came to organization. And when I come, especially when I left the salon, right? Because my organization was the salon, because appointments just made themselves. And I was able to just show up to those appointments, because if nothing else, I'm going to be on time for my clients, right? So that put me in order. I brought myself out of that order. It had me a bit scattered. And then you just get scattered all over. And then that's when I started to get the revelation of, oh, stuff is messed up because there's no order, there's no organization. And so the execution can't show up like it should. But if you have the order and the organization, girl, the execution is easy. You get confident in the execution. And like, that's the level of maturity I'm in right now. And then also the people around me, like, it has happened that I am in a space of, when I say people that are extremely better than me, extremely successful, I feel crazy if I don't show up and meet them at least halfway where they are, right? So the procrastination, and it's killing the procrastination. It is, you know, because certain people will allow you to procrastinate. And I prayed. I was like, please put people around me that will hold me accountable to another level, because I know I'm capable. I know I have the capacity, but I need the people around me. First me, but then I need the people to support me. You know, I have the desire and the want, but I want the people who will hurt my feelings and hold me accountable.
Okay, we are winding down, and that's a whole topic.
A whole other topic. I already know.
All right, Q, can you write this down for us for next week and make this the topic, which is I don't even know what to call it, but we got to talk about, because I'm at a point where I got to let go some things.
Hurt my feelings and hold me accountable.
I think I wanted to be changing your circle of influence. Changing your circle of influence.
Okay.
That's what we're going to talk about next time.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah. So I was just talking to a new coach, and she was like, I think you're going to have to let go of this. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? And so she was like, I don't see how you're going to grow without it. Oh. And so, so I'm sitting with it. Have y'all ever had somebody tell you something truthful that you knew?
Yeah.
And yet them saying it out loud, you was like, no. And even you saying the no was like, yeah, that's not true. like part of you was like, no, that can't be true. And another part of you was just like, be quiet. You know that's right. Like, you know that's right.
Yeah.
All right. So changing your circle influence. So I'm excited. Okay.
That's where I am.
I feel like we went all the way around the world today.
We did.
We said some good stuff. And so I hope you got the key that you needed to move your life to the next destination out of what we said today. All right, Sharice, what do you want them to take away?
I would say just embody the evolution that is happening, because change is inevitable.
Yeah.
You got to just embody it and be ready for it, as ready as you possibly can. There's so many things that we're not going to be ready for, but be ready for what you can be.
Yeah.
With order, organization, and execution.
Oh, that's so eloquent. I can listen to you all day long. I'm so sorry. I can't. All right. The thing I want to say is, your life and your body is telling you what you need to do. Listen to it. And so,
and trust it.
And trust it. And trust it. And so let's do that. Yeah, and so I you can go with the general rule of you need to hear it 2 to 3 times before you make a move, but you got to make a move. You got to make a move. And so, and 2 to 3 times may be a headache that you carry 2 to 3 days in a row. That's your body telling you something's out of whack. We got to do something different.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's or if 2, 3 different people say, "Oh, child, you look so tired. Oh, child, you look so tired." That's your life telling you need to rest more. Okay. All right. If you know you carry your stress in your shoulder and you've been rubbing your shoulder for the last week, that's 5 to 7 times your body has told you that you got to do this thing differently, that you're too stressed about it. And so those are the things that I want you guys to listen to. Listen to your life and let your body. Don't compare yourself to anything else. Make the changes that you need to make. So if that now you need to sleep to 9, you need to sleep to 9. If you need to go to bed at 9 and wake up at 5, then that's what you need to do. You're at a point in your life where you ain't got to impress nobody. You ain't got to be who nobody else wants you to be. You can solely do what your life is telling you, what your life and your body is telling you need to do. Okay. Yeah. All right, fabulous people. We love y'all. We want the best.
Love y'all to life.
Yes. Love you to life. And so we'll talk to y'all next week, same time. All right. Bye-bye.
Be good.
Audio Jungle.